Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are into Champion Select. We are pretty much ready to go. In fact, I believe Game 2 is underway. H2k versus N Faculty. Game 1 having gone to H2k. I am Spuddington, going to be joined once again by Broken Shard.
Who won the last game?
I can't possibly tell you. It was maybe the guy with Forbidden. I don't know.
If you guys missed it, H2k had a very convincing first win. Forbidden playing his signature champion Ari after being the target of 2 target bans. I expect the Syndra ban to still stay, and yeah, it's there with the Jarvan. Zed being banned out, that's a champion that Purefect was playing, so maybe that's and Faculty are banning it because they don't want him to play it.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard situation to deal with though, because like if you think of it from picks and bans, like what do you do against Forbidden? Target banning him unless you're willing to spend all 3 bans, and even then probably not. He's not going to have that big of an impact. He's just got a wide champion pool.
I would just leave every champion open and pick against whatever he's playing. Forcing him onto a particular champion doesn't seem to be working out for them. TF and Zed being banned out as the target ban, so Irelia being banned out. Maybe a first pick Kassadin here, because that's basically that alongside Riven, though Riven is a little bit more unconventional, are kind of the counters to the Kassadin top lane, which is becoming very popular nowadays.
I'm still not entirely a fan of Kassadin top lane. If it does fall behind early, it seems to have a lot of troubles having a big impact on the game. But
oh, the first pick lead. We talked a little bit about Lulex and his proficiency on that champion.
He's as you mentioned before, basically that he used to be a one-trick pony, and he's expanded since then, but he's much more consistent on his Lee Sin.
Consistency is key. He's a good mechanical player. His only issue is that he's not consistent across the board. So he's on his main champion now. He had a really good game last game. Wondering what we'll see here, and we see Nami Corki. So they're picking a solid lane combination here. I'd expect Lucian to be the pick of choice for Hjarnan.
That would make sense. He certainly performed on it pretty, sorry, not that well actually, because he wasn't playing it last time. Graves. Okay, so we're seeing this lane matchup again. This is something we've seen a couple of times here. It's generally been held, I believe, that Graves is a counter to Corki in lane, but it doesn't seem like it's
quite the
hard
opposite.
enough to be worth it.
Quite the opposite. Graves is a counter to Lucian. Considered the counter to Lucian, not Corki, but
that's the weird thing here, is because I'm actually now getting conflicting opinions from different people. Because
well,
some people
I'm way
like
more
from my own
than
perception, it doesn't seem like it's a particular
I'm smarter than
counter.
you. Like, does you really need to figure this out?
I'm not even arguing against you.
No. Graves against, I guess Graves just wins lane because he's a lane bully, but it makes more sense to pick him into Lucian than Corki. What you pick into Corki is basically Lucian or even Kog'Maw. They do fine against that champion.
Yeah, I could dig the Kog'Maw, but doesn't seem to be the style at the moment to run the hyper carries, even though Kog'Maw more or less as he was.
Purefect has had enough, and he's going for almost foolproof champion. Orianna, safe mid laner, scales quite well. They've got good wave clear. And the Rengar Ori Wombo combo is definitely something that can pick off non-escape mids. I want to see Febiven play Ari here.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Jace is open. I like Jace. So maybe that's why they picked Graves, because Graves Jace is actually very solid. It's almost like a Corki Jace in a lot of different ways. Jace has the single target damage to make up for Graves' poor single target damage and very high AoE damage.
Alright then, so with that, I've got to say Soz Purefect, to my mind, you said he's primarily a Syndra player and that gets banned all the time. I'd say from what I've seen of him, his second pick is probably Orianna. Like, he was pretty solid on that from what we've seen before. His Zed last game was not quite what we'd have hoped for, but can you run Orianna into Jace and expect to really bully him out? I don't think so.
Early on, Jace wins. Orianna starts winning at level 7. But the Jace is always going to be able to poke out the Orianna from long range with his EQ.
It's going to be tricky for them to master that, and that is a Fiora pick. Okay, so you said Riven is a counter to Kassadin. I can see how Fiora will work in the one-on-one sense, but isn't she going to be quite extraordinarily vulnerable to being ganked here.
Is that a real Fiora?
I think it's legit.
I have never seen Fiora into Kassadin.
Well, it should work in theory, because if you think about it, double gap closer, full AD damage, she sticks to you with the movement speed, she does a ton of sustained damage, and Kassadin doesn't really have much answer to that, like, at any stage, but I think that is a legit Fiora pick. She can carry really hard as well if she gets fed. She just does so much damage.
Very well.
Yeah. Not a
Let it
placeholder.
begin.
They would have quit out by now if it was a placeholder. So yep, Fiora coming in there, and that is going to be an interesting one when the game's actually started in 3 minutes time. So guys, in the meantime, while that's ticking down, feel free to follow the channel in the bottom left corner. We will be hopefully running more tournaments like this in the future. Challenger Face-Off hopefully will return, but if you want to be kept apprised of that situation, you would have to follow the channel indeed. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Go to sleep. Open my eyes. Not one sound. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I'll turn around. Baby, you know I'll turn around.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are on to the Rift and Faculty versus H2k in the Hitbox ChallengerFaceOff Grand Final Best of 5. We are, as I just said, on the Rift, and we have a Fiora. So, Broken Shard, how much do you know about Fiora in lane?
He's got retarded base stats, like ridiculously high base stats, HP, AD benefits from her W. Fioras are very tanky, innately. She's got a lot of HP for some reason. He doesn't even start Doran's Blade. He goes for a longsword. I expect the Fiora to win this lane very handily. Whether or not it'll happen, we'll have to see. I have never seen this matchup before. On paper, though, Fiora should win.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you on that. I actually, I used to play quite a bit of Fiora, just like, and you know, you can always say I'm a bad player, etc., etc., but we did actually get Senkux, it was, in chat, mentioning that he reckoned it would be a counterpick, and also like a weird little mechanical thing in that Fiora's W, the riposte, would block out Kassadin's W, which seems weird because it doesn't normally block out on hit effects.
Does it? I'm pretty sure it blocks out the...
doesn't block out Jax's stuff, for instance.
Blocks out Heat-10 style, blocks out Siphoning Strike, so I would assume that it did that for the Kassadin W.
Does it block out Heat-10 style? I'm not sure it does.
The first hit.
I don't know. Fiora's W has always been weird to me. I think you might not actually be right about Aurelia. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that's a definite, but it bears investigating. But right now we don't have the time because obviously game has started, minions are moving, and trading going on in bot lane. Actually pretty aggressive, and in top as well. Xazus already doing that much damage to Odwamne. Obviously, Flask and Pots, he's going to stick in for a long time.
I'm not sure I want to cast with you. You just call me a liar.
I didn't call you a liar. I called you wrong. That's very different.
That's worse.
No. I'd rather be trustworthy and an idiot than clever. Actually, no, I think I'd rather be clever and a liar.
Yeah, I bet you shower naked, you filthy whore.
How do you do
anyway,
otherwise?
Bot lane.
Actually getting bullied out.
Yeah, they're pushing them away, and I'd assume that the Graves John Lane to start picking up a little bit more speed at level 3 or level 2. Or level 3, not level 2 because they just hit level 2. And that's kind of where it goes. But across the map, it's a fairly standard start. Although Amne will have to be a little bit back.
You've got to actually give some credit to Adrian and Mountain. They've done a good work generally. Although Lulex is sitting right behind them right now, and that aggressive playstyle we've seen may be about to backfire as a result, because he has the damage to easily kill one, get in with the W. Nice E to follow it up, but actually would have had to go into the tower to finish the kill and could not quite do it. So
that's a flash and a heal burned for Corki and a flash from Nami. Yeah, this lane is over. I'll give credit to Cedrion and Mountain when they start winning lanes without lane bully champions. That's when I'll give them credit. But Odwamne manages to dodge the Ola, or it missed, or whatever you want to call it, but he's out. He's fine.
Yeah, he is. Odwamne, he knows he's going to be in for the long haul here if he wants to do anything. We'll have to withstand the tides. Right now, he's actually he's got some nasty minions there. They are pushing quite hard, and
yeah, he got pushed away from his minions, and now he can't really safely walk up to take that CS, and he's gonna have to deal with this Fiora freeze. Let's watch it intently.
I'm actually, very curious as to how he plans to. He does have this level 4 now as a result. Lulex actually looks like he's heading up there. Makes a lot of sense. He can come through the lane, look to either kill her or break the freeze. Either way, a good outcome. But just going to be doing his white for now.
Look at that Fiora. She's got so much health from nowhere.
Fair and balanced characters, man.
What the... Oh, he's maxing his Q. All right. That's something that I don't really know much about Fioras, is what they max. I guess it's the Q.
It is Q.
Uh-oh. Now, the Q does not land it. Lulex making plays in the early game. He's forced 3 flashes so far. But Rengar's coming in from behind. This could be really bad because Odwamne, he's not in a position to fight. He's a very weak Kassadin at this point in the game.
But with that many minions...
Yeah, Kikis is just wasting... Oh, wait. What's he... Is he really going to try something here, Kikis?
Yeah, they both stopped their recall.
They both stopped recalls. He thinks that Lee Sin's gone.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool as far as he's concerned, I expect here, because at worst, like pushing out stopping both of the recalls is still costing them more time than it's costing him to stop them. But yeah, about the max Q, you get like, I think it's 25 damage extra per dash every time you put a point in skill.
An additional 50 damage total, I guess, and you
Yeah.
can use it twice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that the W is better because of the passive AD, but I guess
You get
Kassadin's not
5
going to
AD
be...
per point, and when are you going to use
Kassadin's-
the riposte damage?
Yeah,
Like,
Kassadin's not really going to auto-hit him.
Might happen, but
I mean,
we'll see.
Kassadin will want to keep his distance away from that Fiora.
Even her E is like a lot of Fiora's skills are actually really, really good just in terms of what they're giving you. It's just as a kit, she tends to have some problems because she ends up really, really squishy, and if she falls behind, she does nothing.
She gets ahead, she gets 3 items, she does a crap load of damage. But I guess the Janna does actually hard counter the Fiora in a lot of different ways.
You can do some tricky stuff with her ult. Like, you know how you can follow along with stuff and avoid dashes and stuff with Deathmark, for instance? You can do a lot of those things with Fiora's ult.
Oh, all in. But
yeah.
here comes Kikis. Oh, Voidal.
He's
Voidal,
surely
get out
going
of
to drop
there.
here.
Yeah, Voidal's
Kikis.
dead.
Yeah, very nicely done. Gets some extra damage on Kianan as well. So very, very well done indeed.
Voidal, what are you doing? Voidal, please.
The aggro Janna, it's just the way to play, mate. Tiamat picked up by Fiora here. So.
Yeah, standard first item. First by Tiamat is a really big deal. That's going to mean that Fiora pretty much just gets complete control over pushing the wave, and Kassadin will constantly be pushed up to his turret. Has his Rift Walk now and his Catalyst, so he'll be relatively safe. Fiora is saving his TP. Walking back to lane. I guess it's giving Odon the time to back out, pick up his Catalyst, and choose to do whatever he wants. I guess he'll just run back to lane. Oh, with the shot.
Couldn't quite stop the recall there on Cedrian. He's going to be walking back in. So we haven't actually been applying too much focus to mid lane, but it's probably worth noting at this point for Bivin. Has built himself up a 10 CS lead at this point, which is pretty respectable. And Oz is about to pick up his blue. You did say before. Oh god, Kikis is actually incredibly low, but fortunately had the ferocity, and Pure Fate will get the blue.
Oh my god, if Voidal got that kill, it would have been hilarious.
That would have been real awkward for Kikis.
If Voidal had Ignite, if he just had Ignite.
Sadly not. No, nothing but exhaust, and the exhaust was not available anyway. Not that it would have made a difference. So,
Nothing but exhaust and broken dreams.
nothing but exhaust and broken tables. You can never use the word broken anymore, Broken Shard. It's
I'm
just not an
fucking
option
done.
for you.
Everyone just calls me broken table. Like, I broke one table.
That's one table
Like-
too many.
That's one table too many. Come on. Actually, yesterday I lay down on my bed and my remote was there, and I went down really hard and actually broke the remote control.
Well, you are. I mean, I guess you're kind of living up to your name. Like, it's nominative determinism. That's what it is. Your name is dictating your actions. You are breaking everything.
Just break down the walls. Guess I'll do that. Zerker Greaves picked up from Graves. So
That's-
early. I'm not sure I like this at all. But here's Lulex.
Yeah, why would you do
Matching
that?
Nah, I'm not very sure. I think he's trolling.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, even if you had just like an awkward amount of gold, like 600 or whatever, that's still... Like, surely you'd be better off getting a... I mean, I guess then Longsword would be really awkward for what would you build it into, like a Vamp Scepter, I guess, but whatever.
Ghostblade. Ghostblade.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That works on Graves.
I guess
I'm
he
not
just kinda
used to
wants
it.
No, Yomus is fine. Oh, Lulex is in a little bit of trouble. Flash is out. Because we'll get out.
It's okay. Oh. Lulex now heading towards top lane. Oh, Dwamne is actually not behind on CS. That's probably worth remembering here. And Xaxus has potentially been baited here. Kikis too far away. No ultimate. Is going to pop his own. Nice dodge on the Q and flashes out the way. So, Xaxus keeping himself alive.
Yeah, so now Xaxus uses his ult and his flash. So that's good pressure from Lulex. And that's kind of how he's winning Kassadin in his lane, by forcing the cooldowns of Xaxus so that he can never really be playing aggressive, because Xaxus is not really doing much with his advantage. has a bit of a CS lead, will be able to clear out this wave, but he's getting poked down equally. Odoamne is getting the experience that he needs, and I think his Lazarus might be... Oh!
Oh man, the minion MVP saves the day, or, well...
Lulex predicted that he would kill that minion with his kick. Oh, that's unlucky.
Okay, I gotta be honest, like, I wasn't aware of that aspect. Kikis actually needs to be a little bit careful here. Odoamne doesn't really have the damage though, so he should be okay. But Xaxus continuing to not snowball is probably a bit of a concern here for InFaculty.
Oh, Odoamne. Oh my goodness, if Kikis died there. Kikis has been having a lot of near deaths. But meanwhile in the mid lane though, it's a very even matchup. Fevivin is picking up his major items, but at the same time, so is Orianna. Has Morellonomicon now. Able to pick up boots and some wards there. Orianna's at a really good point. No tier though. Not able to stack up her mana regen. She's got none right now.
Yeah, well, you can't blame her for going for the early game choice, considering the way last game went, and the influence for Bivin was able to put on the entire game just by virtue of how well he did in that early stage.
What you said.
What?
So I'm just agreeing with what you said, so I said what you said.
Whoa. I feel like I've been respected here. It's okay, guys.
I still really don't even know your name.
What?
Calm down there, buddy.
I'm Steve from accounting.
I thought that was Eric from accounting.
I was definitely Steve. I know my own name, man.
Damn, that EQ combo. That's basically what we were talking about if you saw mid lane. One of those EQs pretty much pushes the advantage out of Orianna's favor. But in a straight up fight, the Jace loses.
That's fair play, and as long as you can prevent, like, this is one of those times where you really, really want to put a lane at the ward at the end of the lane. Actually, yeah, going all in. Odoamne will be not getting the kill himself, but Lulex will be happy to take that off his hands.
Odoamne should have probably got it, but it's whatever. That's another kill. Now a 12 CS lead for Odoamne. The Cassidy doing work.
Yeah,
and that's the thing about Fiora. She's got no escapes. So unless Rengar is there for a perfectly timed counter gank, she's kind of screwed when it comes to ganks.
Yep, that is...
Especially for Cassidy, who is maxing his Force Pulse, so the slow is immense. Does it scale with level? I'm pretty sure it does. It does. It does. 90%. 90% slow. Even if it's just for 1 second, it makes skill shots so easy to land.
I think that was actually one of the nerfs as well, was making it scale. Because for a while it didn't, and that made it very strong with only 1 point in it. Now, continuing to see farming going back and forth in mid lane. Bot lane also not really developing much advantage, and that's actually a concern really for H2k. The Graves pick, it's a lane bully, and yeah, okay, it does have good AoE for the later game, but they haven't exactly got an AoE centric comp. It's not stacking up with everything else, so surely you'd be better off with a Lucian.
Yeah, they'll be able to set up some plays with the Graves, but right now he's not having a very fun lane against the core Tsunami. But look at that damage though with the shield. With the Zerker Greaves, making his trades really good. I guess the Zerker Greaves is just for the mobility, so he has more time to auto-attack. He is maxing his E-second, the quick draw.
Yeah, well, he's playing that kind of... he's playing very, very much, well, in a very dangerous fashion against Nami, basically. He's calling the bluff, basically, when the bubble's placed behind him, and Berserker's Greaves can only help with that.
Yeah, using the move speed from Gianna as well as the tier 2 boots. He's sitting on close to 400 move speed.
That's very respectable.
That's a very fast Graves. I guess it also helps him get away from the Rengar too. And Graves is actually really good against Rengar. It's considered a counter because when Rengar jumps on you, you just blow him up. You ever see a cat explode?
I've never been one for putting them in microwaves.
Wait, that's what happens?
I sincerely doubt it, and I sincerely hope not. Lulex in top lane. Actually, this is actually in the area here, so there is actually a bit of a risk associated with going for that gank right now. They don't know Kikis is there. They're going in for it, but the delay from the ultimate might be the key factor here. Can they burst down Xaxus before Kikis can take anyone else down? The answer is a yes. And Kikis...
No, Kikis is dead.
He's not dead.
He missed it.
No.
But Kikis would have flashed it either way. Lulex with a great play, managing to kick the... Oh, but here comes Perfect. Flashes in, not really much able to do much though. The slow misses, Odoamne. No! Oh, he managed to get out!
People should not live sometimes, but that time they did, and Perfect, unfortunately, has sacrificed his own tower to get nothing, whilst Kickers dies in the top lane. Lulex, worth it because minions dying to tower, right?
Worth it because swag.
Perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Anyway,
Don't argue about it.
H2k looking pretty good for themselves right now, and Perfect again seems to be struggling, honestly.
I'm sorry, but Featherfin writing in the chat is just a little bit entertaining, considering that they're in the game right now.
Oh, the game's chat. Wow,
Yeah.
that guy. That
Not
is
the
some
game-
confidence.
Not the game's chat, the stream.
Yeah, the
chat.
hitbox. Yeah.
Oh my god. A little bit entertaining, but H2K with a small gold lead. Their solo lanes look to be ahead. The Jace is way further ahead of the Orianna. Got a lot of free time, alone time with the mid turret, where Orianna failed and actually used her flash. And Jace is also running exhaust and not ignite. I just noticed this now. So dealing with the Fiora is actually going to be much easier with a double exhaust.
It makes a lot of sense if you think about it. He's going to be able to use that. Like, it's not that fantastic in lane. Trading Kikis is potentially in trouble, but going to be fine. But the exhaust, yeah, as you say, useful against him, against Fiora, and very useful against Rengar as well. You may as well be able to keep yourself alive if you're going to play Jace.
I mean, yeah, because your base damages are not even base damages. Your base damages and your scalings are so huge as a champion. His late game damage is probably one of the best. He gets alone time with you for 3 auto hits, and you're pretty screwed, man.
Yeah, it's insane how much damage he does, especially if he goes for a tier build, which, lo and behold, he has. Muramana.
Ooh, look at that chunk.
Yeah, 3 procs on the Muramana. He's got massive scaling on his Q, especially when he doubles it up. But even, like, without using the acceleration gate, the Q from Jace still does a lot. Dragon seems to be the next focus here. Lulex waiting around the pit. Kick is much the same, but that is dropping like a fly. He has stealthed up. The ward is there. He's going to surely not actually be able to get it. Goes in with the net and puts down a lot of damage on Lulex, but it just isn't getting them kills.
Kikus is not really doing so hot this game, or last game.
It's not like he had a bigger smite or anything. Both level 10.
It.
Yeah, he should. I honestly, I feel like that should have been Kikis' dragon, because he had the ability to spike damage with his own, auto attack or Q or whatever, and then throw in the smite as well. But yeah, smite skills from Lulex there.
3k gold lead now in H2K's favor.
Yeah, it builds up, doesn't it? Just this is this kind of thing with H2K. They keep building so many incremental advantages across the board. It's even though the kill total is close and the objective total isn't too far off, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Or something.
Nothing really matters to me.
I think that's a different song.
Boyle getting hit by a missile. Right in the back.
Got the BM
Grace.
coming out from Corky. You're a Whiskey Delta. I don't even know what that means.
Whiskey Delta. Not really sure
WD?
either. Yeah, I mean, I know he says Lima Oscar Lima, which is like LOL.
Yeah. But what's a Whiskey Delta?
Someone in the chat tell me what a Whiskey Delta is, I'll give you a cookie.
An imaginary one or a real one?
Like an internet cookie, like the real ones.
Ah, right, yeah. Because the internet is the real. I forget. I forget that sometimes. Someone said wall hack. I'm not convinced by wall hack as being how you, like, WD doesn't seem...
Part of me thinks that hack is not to start with the word H or DMU. Uh-oh, Kikus has been found out.
Oh,
no!
he's in so much doo-doo there. That is absenting Kikis from life, and Zazas has been spotted as well. Going to be chased up on Lulex. Puts down a bit of damage. Doesn't even give him the chance to ult out, and Perfect is also actually been hit. Go for it. Do it. The Syndrome. Oh. Good one they does.
Ooh!
Wow.
And it seems like the gates have broken wide open. Kikus dies, Zazas dies, Perfect dies. Everything is not going well, and that's going to be a rotation onto the mid turret.
Yep. This is what we saw so many times before. H2k getting the better of everyone else in those small skirmishes. And doing so in just absolutely commanding fashion. Cedrian is finally freed, it seems, from bot lane. Well, the towers are actually still standing, so it's probably going to cost them there. But I guess he feels he needs to be there for the fight. Because, well, not getting anything there.
It looks like the bot lane will go down to Karnan and Voidal, who have been able to farm up relatively well.
And they are just a touch ahead across the board there. And unfortunately for Cedrian, although that wouldn't be a bad setup, actually Kikis is going to be going in. Voidal is not long for this world, and they will reclaim something.
They will trade that for a Baron, though. Excuse me. Kikis in the bottom side of the map. I think this will be a free Baron for H2 Kappa.
I'm ready for Soz Purefect to make the play of a lifetime. It's probably not... Well, he's got Flash. He's going in. Shockwave gets it down, and Xaxus is actually jumping in after Hyanan is there, though. And Xaxus can't get in range for the ult, so he gets nothing done. Purefect, the man of the hour, does stop the Baron, but it doesn't look like he's going to get much more for it. One kill has happened. Nami picking up Kassadin, and Jace, meanwhile, takes down Rengar. But still, that could have been a lot worse.
Wow. That was a nice ult.
Yeah, that was really, really good. It was just... And if Xaxus had just been like a touch further forward, like the Fiora ult with the Tiamat AoE, 0-5 or not, would have done a lot.
Even if Xaxus did anything besides just walk and die, would have been fine.
Yeah, that would have been nice, I'll be honest. I would have put it a nicer way, perhaps, but I guess that's how it is.
Why be nice when you can be eating rice?
No. Why? But that's... That is a rhyme, Broken Shard. Yes.
It rhymes.
That is all that could be said about that sentence. That's positive. I could say many things negative, but it is a rhyme. It's positive, and I'm a positive person.
I like rice.
I like rice. Rice is a good thing.
So I found out what Whiskey Delta means, but
Oh, doesn't bear repeating, I'm guessing.
I mean, okay, so Whiskey Delta means weak dick, which basically means someone who's a coward, or I guess in cruder terms, it's basically someone who's a pussy.
Yeah, I get the idea. I get the idea there. Whiskey Delta. I can. Yeah, I knew. I did know that. I knew because he says black shoes. Well, I knew that was like an old World War II slang for air pilots and things. That was just like referring to anyone who was an office clerk or whatever. But
Because had black shoes.
Corky is. I guess so. Yeah, because I guess pilots were wearing like brown shoes and stuff.
Uh-oh. Kessa did more like Kessa win.
I'm still not sold on the pick in general, although this time, of course, the counter hasn't exactly worked in any way, shape, or
Kassadin's
form.
up is definitely working. It gives him a nice, quiet place to farm, up his advantage, and get the two major items, which he has, the Hourglass and the Roa. And now I don't think Fiora is actually going to be able to do much. He's very far behind.
That would be a fair statement to make. Kikis is going to be going in, gets the root down on Forbidden, Tidal Wave following it up. Quite a lot of AoE, and they are actually getting clumped here. Kassadin not available for the fight, and Xaxus stuck to Voidal. Gets knocked back.
Why is Voidal holding on to his ultimate for so long? I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, well, I guess that time if he'd gone in range to get the Monsoon down, he'd probably been bursted almost instantly, but they get the Dragon. Odwamne, however, is here. They are not done yet. There is no ultimate on Fiora. She is going to go down almost instantly. Now a 4-on-4. The chase continues. The Shockwave whiffs, and Odwamne is in so much trouble. Kikis will go down to Hyanan, and Cedrian forced to flash himself out of there and abandon ship with the rest of his crewmates. That is going to be a 2-for-2, I think, in that re-engage, or 2-for-1. But, and Faculty did at least get themselves the Dragon.
It seems that they're making the right picks. Voidal is misplaying entirely on Janna. But, the return fights, the great engage from Odwamne using his Hourglass there to get the right slow on. They instantly turned onto the Fiora while Odwamne was, what's the word I'm looking for?
Zoning?
Yeah, I guess you could say zoning, but they were all there while Fiora 1v1'd, like. Graves, Janna,
Thing was,
and
they all had to
Fizz.
run away from Kassadin, but they couldn't actually, and they wanted to focus him down, but of course they couldn't because he was Zonya. But the moment he came out of Zonya, they didn't want to be there
Why run away from Kassadin when you can run at him?
because he has 3 teammates, 2 of which are Jace and Graves, and Jace right now is dangerous.
Yeah,
Ow.
the damage actually does hurt.
It's
That is on
yeah.
a champion with armor too. Imagine if it hit on the Nami who has 70 armor. Oriana's got 136. Oh, Kickus. Oh,
Well.
Lulex, please, man, you're killing me here.
And that was a bit of a misplay. Oh, well, misexecution, I suppose. Use the formal terminology. Lulex continuing to look for an engage. Meanwhile, Mountain. Well, we found out what the shot blast looks like on Nami. It's a dead Nami. That
Graves
is
also
gonna be
actually uses
control.
collateral damage, and they're making a rotation onto mid lane. Odomne, will he go over the wall? Kickus from behind. Oh, I think Kickus is dead.
Yeah. Not time to go for an ult, even if he had it,
Ooh.
which he didn't.
Oh, Lulex has his flash and his kick. I guess he will try kick flash when he gets the things down.
Yeah, it's quite plausible. Nasus now coming around. He needs
He's
to
looking
be
to try
there
to
for
make
this
it.
fight.
Pure
but-
Effect still has his ultimate though, but Odomne going in, chunking out Cedrion.
Well, Zazus, I think, wants to go for the re-engage. I feel like it, because that Fiora damage is actually significant even in
Oh
this
my
situation,
goodness.
but they just don't have the backup. The exhaust is good. He will go down. Pure Effect drops on the back line. Cedrion was not there to follow anything up and takes so much damage in half a second flat. This actually may be the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Fiora pick obviously didn't work. Here comes Kickus. Has to flash away after jumping in and... Okay, so the way that I see it is that Fiora was not the good... I just... Everyone else on the team of Infaculty were actually doing okay. The Corki was fine. The Rengar was okay. The Orianna was, you know, pulling in, and I mean, it's a good scaling pick, but just the Fiora 0-7-2, not accomplishing anything, not able to do any damage, and that's 2-0 advantage for H2k. Need just one more in this best of 5.
Yeah, Fiora strikes me as almost like a cheesy pick. You're like hoping to get that one game